Deanna. Morning, everybody.
All right. Welcome to hashtag building exclusively with Antonio or building with Antonio. I have been instructed this morning. We will not be talking about ChatGPT or anything like that. Pathbender is starting early. So Grace, this morning's title is The Journey to Alignment and Surrender.
The journey to alignment
and surrender.
Okay, thank you.
And this is a part of a series called Mastering Alignment, the path to infinite intelligence and creation. We're starting with the journey to alignment and surrender. And before I do that, I do again want to thank those that gave to the prison ministry yesterday. They were very appreciative and very excited, very happy. So thank you all so much. Thank you all so much.
Ooh, okay. Can I say this while you take that sip of coffee?
Mm-hmm.
I know that's in your cup.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things I want to say is, so Antonio T. Smith Jr. has been over it all in the Bat Cave, handling all his bat fidgets. So now he coming out with no chat.
Oh no,
all kind of spears. Path bending. Earthly.
Yes. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. We Antonio said, this is his words. If he's our leader and he's going through alignment and surrender, then what do you think we're doing? If he has hit that wall, that means we have hit that wall. And let me tell y'all something. Surrender is not in my vocabulary, okay? Alignment, when I think I got it right, it ain't right. I'm all off alignment. You know how y'all know how when the ships that come in the dock, they have to get into a certain alignment so they don't destroy the whole dock. Yeah, no, I'm pushing all that stuff over. It's horrible. Let me tell y'all something. When Miss Adonia said, I'm tired, I was like, and she started saying why she was tired. I was like, okay, Miss Adonia, I'm not tired because I got to do that. But I understood how she said, I'm tired. You could feel it. You could feel it. So today we're talking about the journey to alignment and surrender. So what do you guys think when you hear alignment?
What I have been doing for the past almost 2 years now with you all, that you're that's I'm getting ready to go do something before I do a whole bunch of other stuff that has to be done because of that. But even though I have to go to the job, I still have to get this stuff done because alignment is important. Because when you are not aligned, you miss stuff that is supposed to be coming to you or that is planned to come to you. And because you're not ready, you miss it. And it's not purposely, but by default, because you are unable to line up or you're not lined up, then you miss all of that. So I have to do what I can do or what is in my power to do or what I am readily available to do to be able to be aligned. That's what I think about. Because I know you all may not know where I've come from, the troubles and struggles that I have had. but to let go of so many things that held my attention, that dealt with other people versus what Sandra needs to do to get where she is supposed to be, has been difficult. So yeah, tired, that's far from the word. However, the joys of planting, the joys of raking in what comes from the planting, the joys of being able to even know that I can plant, the joys of invest. All of these things have come from being alive. So it's a lot of things. A book comes from me being alive. That's when I think of it. A book comes from that.
Okay. Yeah. It sounds like you're enjoying the process. Kudos to you. I found no joy in the process. Okay. Let me tell you something. This process sucks.
It's not necessarily, I guess it's where, truth be told, it is where living and literally watching the tares and the wheat grow up together and understanding what that looks like versus just hearing it. If that makes sense, because
it does.
No, it's a lot of things that I'm just like, I'm not going to do that. But there's a lot of things that I'm truly unable to do. However, I will continue. Like, however, this is the closest I've ever been to actually being able to do it. So those tears of watching it trying to tear me up and tear up my wheat, and watching my wheat say, yeah, no, when I get wet, I get stronger. I'm like a picker upper. You can't stop me. So being able to watch it and understand that it is the formation towards going to that which people have not seen and do not see and have not recognized about me. And that is that God has breathed into this. I am a treasured building, and that building is a sanctuary, and the Holy Spirit lives there. So I have to be working through that power versus everything else that I have in previous times been allowing to stop me from moving forward. If that makes sense.
No,
I feel like you just saying. So yeah, it's not, I ain't happy or no. I'm happy at the production of each step.
Gotcha. Okay. Thank you, Ms. Sandra, for being transparent and sharing with us. Thank you. When you hear alignment, what do you think? And Sandra she told us what she thought, and she's right. But when you think of alignment, what do you think?
I think about it doing what you say you're going to do. So if I say my dreams, my goals, my desires are one thing, and I'm doing something else, I'm not in alignment. So alignment is moving closer towards it by just doing baby steps, little actions, anything that you do that has that alignment or that destination in your forefront is what I call the process of aligning, and then becoming aligned. So that, for me, that's what it means.
Okay. I like that. In what you said, I like that, Ms. Adonia, because for me, when I do things that are in alignment, no matter how small they are, there's a different feeling attached to it. And it kind of lets me know I'm going in the right direction. So if I said this is my goal. This is what I want to do. And it comes from that place of, what is the richest man, not richest man. What's that book? Oh, I cannot.
Girl, we don't know.
Cannot believe I can't think of it right now.
Not Think and Grow Rich.
Yes, that's the book. Thank you, Grace. In Think and Grow Rich, it tells you, I forgot what I was going to say. Never mind. I really did, because I really did. I forgot what I was going to say. Oh, I remember now. So in Think and Grow Rich, Grace, can you send Antonio the call information for this morning's call?
Already done.
Appreciate you. So Think and Grow Rich. In Think and Grow Rich, he talks about that. I can't think. Y'all know the definite, it's a definite something.
Definite purpose.
Thank you. Oh, my goodness. It took me that long to get to that, y'all. It's okay. I'm still waking up, got my coffee going. I'm ready for this morning. Okay, I'm ready. But in Think and Grow Rich, he talks about your definite purpose. And from what Miss Adonia just said, when I say this is what my purpose is, period, and it comes from my ashe, it comes from my soul. Anything I do that is of that, there's a certain peace and calmness that comes with it. If I do anything outside of that, it's just, it's trying to dock the ship. The whole pier is gone. And that's when I know, like, for me, I can feel my alignment. And man, let me tell y'all something. It sucks when you're doing something and it's not in alignment. You be like, oh, like Miss Adonia was saying earlier. And then Miss Sandra touched on it. She's like, I'm tired this morning. Man, when you are out of alignment, you're tired every day. I don't care how much sleep you get. If you get the good 6 to 8 hours of sleep and you wake up uninterrupted, and you wake up, you're like, man, and you refreshed, you're good. The moment you do anything out of alignment, it's like your energy goes from 100 to 0 in a matter of seconds. That's what alignment, for me, that's what alignment is. So who else, when you hear alignment? Oh, Chef J. Mm-hmm. Yeah, she said being centered and having balance, tunnel vision. When she hears the word alignment, that's what comes to her. Who else? Well, I know it's grocery morning for the Sorrentinos down in Florida. Well, across in Florida.
Everybody. Oh no, that is funny. Yeah, too funny this morning. Being in alignment, okay, is really everything everyone has said thus far. And when you touched on it, like whenever you're doing things and you feel a peace and a calmness, yeah, you know you're in alignment. I listen to Abraham Hicks every morning, and she talks about being in the vortex. And this morning, what I was hearing, she said, you can't just want to be in the vortex so you can get your stuff. No, you gotta, you gotta, want to be in the vortex so that you can just be in the vortex. You always want to be too, and then tap and turn on, and get that alignment so that when those things come up that you want, those dreams and those desires come up that you want, they just automatically fall in line because you're in alignment already. Because you made a point to be in the vortex. You made a point to be in alignment. You made a point to, align with source, align with God, align with, with the self. And so you have to be intentional. Being in alignment means being intentional about being in alignment. So, yeah. And, I was talking to Melissa yesterday, and she said, "Girl, she's got to get out of your own way." I flipped out, not in a bad way. I was like, "God," and she's like, "I'm assuming I'm not the first person to tell you that." I was like, "No." I have had people tell me this over the years, and I had really had to figure out what getting out of your own way means. Well, getting out of your own way means being in alignment. So, yeah.
Grace, let me tell you something. When I tell you, I have been in a get out of your own way zone all week. I like that. I like that I like what you said about being in alignment. If you in your own way, you are not in alignment. You are knocking over not only the pier you supposed to be pulling into, but everybody else's. Now, for those of y'all who keep hearing me say pier, earlier I said that when it comes to me and alignment, I think that's what I was saying, Grace, alignment, sometimes I'm on it, but sometimes I'm like the ship when you're trying to line it up the right way. So when you dock on the pier, you don't, destroy it. And then sometimes I knock the whole pier over because I'm just all out of alignment. When I think I got it, I'm like, ooh, right there. And then the next thing I know, the whole pier gone. So that's when y'all hear me say I'm knocking over the pier, that's what I mean. No, but thank you, Grace. Thank you, Grace. Abraham Hicks, she slapped you in your face. She slaps you. See, Tony Robbins punches you with the whole basketball sized hand that he has when it goes into a fist. And he do it with no sugar, no candy, no nothing. Abraham Hicks, because of how she talks and because of the softness of her voice, she's punching you just as hard as Tony Robbins, but with this calmness too. It's like
she starts off with, "We love you so much," and then she punches you in the face.
That's that. We love you so much, but you're messing up. That's stupid. Don't do that. And then we have Antonio. I don't know how he does it, but he's in between them. Because sometimes he can deliver stuff and it be so soft and so calm, but you got punched and slapped. And then sometimes he just outright punch and slap you. When it comes to alignment and surrendering, I get punched and I get slapped every time. Because neither one of those are really surrender is not, like I told you earlier, surrender is not in my vocabulary. Okay. You want me to surrender? It's a fight gonna happen. I'm not going down without a fight. Let me tell you something. But that's not in alignment. And when you are in alignment, being in alignment is surrendering. Because if you're in alignment, you're in flow of everything that's going on.
I forgot I had to take notes. Say that one more time. When you're in alignment, you're surrendering. Okay.
Okay. Look, let me see if I can go back, Grace, because you know my brain is not like Antonio's. Stuff just be flowing out, and I don't know.
I remember when you say when you're in alignment, you're surrendering. That's what I needed.
When you are in alignment, you're surrendering because you're in flow. Being in flow is surrender. Now, when we talk about surrender, I know for me, that's why I say surrender is out of my vocabulary, because to me, for years, when you're always battling, when you're always fighting, be it somebody on the outside of you or just in your inner self, when you're constantly fighting in your inner self, surrender don't take place. Surrender is not in your vocabulary because you're thinking you're losing. If I surrender, I lose. And I have lost before, and I don't like how that feels. So I'd be damned if I'm going to lose again. That's what I hear when I hear surrender. Now, Antonio talks to us about perception. Each of you had a different perception of what alignment meant to you. Just like each of you are going to have a different perception of what surrender means. But in order to master alignment, to be on the path of infinite intelligence and creation, because that's what this is about. you have to take that journey to alignment and to surrendering. Why do you think surrendering is important when it comes to mastering alignment and the path to infinite intelligence and creation? Or I'm not even going to take it that far. I'm going to just put it to today. Why is surrendering important just to live on a daily basis?
If you keep resisting, you're not gonna get what you want. That's pretty much, the surrender is to give up the resistance. And we're like, you know what? All right. I tried it my way, it didn't work. I'm tired of hitting my head on this wall. Just tell me what to do.
Great. But
But you know, we tend to not want to surrender because I think we interpret it differently. Surrender means, well, to me, giving up. I surrender. Sometimes I'm forget this. I'm done. I did everything I could. I don't want to do this no more. So, you feel defeated and then you end up surrendering, or, just the fight. You're just tired of the fight. That grind can get really hard and what have you. The alignment part, I just thought of something too, as you were talking earlier, Deanna, is I think about like your vehicle. If you're every now and then you have to go get your car serviced, and one of the things you do is you get your tire rotated and it gets put in alignment. And that's, think about it. You're driving on roads, you're hitting potholes potentially. You're maybe a curb or two if you're not parking very well. Bottom line is your car eventually needs some care. And that alignment to get them tires going back straight and right, so you can, when you're turning safely, is necessary. So every 3 months, 6 months, whatever your service requirements are, you get in alignment. Well, we're like the car. We get bumped, we get hit, we get defeated, we fall down, and we need to get back up and get stuff straightened back up and out so we can continue the journey. So I see the vehicle, because we're all driving somewhere. We all get bumped and hit and scratched, and maybe even a little ding and ding. I got somebody hit my vehicle. I got a little ding in my car. And I try to get attitude, and I'm like, for why? It's a little bump. Okay, my life didn't end. Yes, I'm a little frustrated, but I'm over it. So I had to get my brain straight and not be mad about it, because I could do something about it. Either go get it fixed or don't get it fixed. So that's what I saw on the second journey of alignment. It's like your tires. Eventually, you need some help to straighten out the kinks.
I love it. I love it so much, because we are the cars. We are the cars. We are in alignment when we come out. When we come out the factory, we're in alignment. But as we drive throughout life, we hit potholes. We, hit a few curbs, we somebody hits us. We're on unleveled ground that we're driving on, and we get a little out of alignment. So we need to go in and get a tune-up and make sure we, realign our tires. We need to do the same thing with ourselves. But there's something that you just gave the most wonderful example of surrender, Miss Adonia. She said, yeah, I got a ding in my car now. Somebody dinged my car, And I was like, I could get upset about it, but why? It's not going to do me any good. I could either get it fixed or leave it as is. You surrendered to the flow of, it's not even worth it. That's not in my alignment. I'm not in alignment with that. I'm not even going to worry about that. Am I frustrated? You allowed yourself to feel the emotions of frustration, but you didn't live in it. Once you were finished, you were like, okay, you know what? I'm going to surrender these emotions because they don't serve me. I acknowledge the fact that it frustrated me. I have a ding in my car. So now I have 2 decisions to make. Either leave the ding in the car or get the ding fixed. But I'm going to surrender that emotion because it doesn't serve me. You could also surrender to emotions that do serve you. If there is an emotion telling you, hey, you might not want to touch that burner because it's hot, and you get a nervousness when your hand gets close to it, surrender to that emotion. Don't touch the stove. You don't want to get burnt. But see, sometimes we take that surrender a little too far, And we're like, well, you know what? I'm just going to surrender to this. And we thinking, like Miss Adonia said, like, I'm giving up. I'm defeated. So my question is, well, actually, no. Yeah, my question to all of you, those of you who can answer, when you hear surrender, what is your perception of surrendering?
Chef Jay put in the chat, she feels like surrendering can be a good or a bad thing. You can surrender to give in or give up, or you can surrender to receive blessing. You just have to know what you're surrendering to, but you have to be aligned to know.
Come on, Chef.
Chef Jay. Okay,
Wait
Chef
a
Jay.
minute.
I love that. That was so well said. You know, we could end this call. I'm kidding, but that was so well said.
That is going in the notes, okay?
That was everything. That was everything.
Come on, Chef Jay.
One more time.
One more time. I feel like surrendering can be a good or a bad thing. You can surrender to give in or give up, or you can surrender to receive blessings. You just have to know what you're surrendering to, but you have to be aligned to know. That's going in the notes, okay?
Please, because I have a question. How many of y'all surrender, but not in alignment to know what you're surrendering to? And then when you surrender, you be like, what the hell?
Watch yourself.
Just happened. I do it too often. Antonio be trying to help me. He really do. He be like, you might not want to do that. No, I'm going to surrender to this. And not even in alignment, and then be sitting back like, yeah, I don't like this. I don't like this at all. But he told me something yesterday that blew my head off. And it was a quote from Jim Carrey. And I may get it messed up, but I'm going to make sure I get at least translated so you get the gist of it. He said that oYou is so tired of your avatar. No, he said that Jim Carrey said depression is oYou, your spirit, telling you that it is tired of the life that your avatar has created for you. Okay, Grace got it. Okay, cool. That means I broke it down. I broke it down right. Did I do it right, Grace?
I'm glad.
Let me tell you something. Go ahead. Miss Adonia raised her hand earlier. We're going to come back to that. Miss Adonia, you go ahead.
No, I don't need to speak. I was raising my hand. I was identifying myself when you talked about Lee Carey. That was me and all that and then some.
I got you. See, Miss Adonia, I tell you, when I grow up, I'm going to be just like Miss Adonia. I promise y'all. That's my big sister. But no, and when he said that, y'all, I looked at him. I had a few choice words. I'm not going to say them on camera. Just no. I had a few choice words. But it made sense because, hold on, y'all. Oh, hold on. I'm going to share this video. Give me a second. Grace, can you expound? Can you tell me your thoughts on that while I set up this video?
Okay.
I keep getting logged out of my.
Say that one more time. No, I'm telling you what it was that you said. Jim Carrey said.
Okay, depression is your spirit, your soul, oYou, telling you that it is not happy with the life that your avatar has created.
So, oYou is tired of you showing your representative and not you. How do you just want you to show up? Hey, we want the world to see us.
Right.
Here.
Let me tell you.
Okay.
Oh, I got it. Okay, here it is. Hold on, y'all. I'm about to share it. Give me 1 second.
Parents.
Uh-oh. Y'all are going to hear a commercial in the background, okay? Well, actually, I'm going to just put it on the screen. We can watch the commercial together. Hopefully, they will reach out to us and ask us to be a sponsor. All right.
Summer starts at Michael's for everything kids
Y'all
need
hear
for
it?
creative fun every day.
Yes,
Grab
ma'am.
outdoor faves
Okay,
like
so
bubbles,
now
chalk, and more.
here we go.
You know, I played the guy that was free from concern so that people who watched me would be free from concern. You know, and then at a certain point you go like, okay, well, that's great. But, you know, it's like the one thing, like people talk about depression all the time. The difference between depression and sadness is just, you know, from happenstance, whatever happened or didn't happen for you, or, you know, grief or whatever it is. And depression is your body saying, fuck you, I don't want to be this character anymore. I don't want to hold up this avatar that you've created in the world. It's too much for me.
Right.
You know? And so a friend of mine who's a spiritual teacher has a really good take. His name is Jeff Foster, and his take on it is that they should change, you know, you should think of the word of depressed as deep rest. Deep rest. Your body needs to be depressed. It needs deep rest from the character that you've been trying to play.
Right.
Wait a minute, Jim Carrey. First of all, you did not say all of what Jim Carrey said depressed was, okay?
That's not, wait a minute. Hold on. Hold what you got. I was not prepared.
Deep rest? All right.
Cause your spirit is tired. And it's stressed from the avatar that you have created.
Today's the
That was so profound. I mean, you have to really hear that again. I mean, I'm not saying you play it necessarily, but did you guys hear?
I am.
I'm gonna give it to y'all.
So big. That was so huge for so many reasons. I won't even go there, but that was
wow.
Yeah. Wow.
Wow, that was. I'm about to share it with all of you. I got y'all covered because I understand. Because I'm sure. Grace, please put it in the notes.
That's why I'm asking you to put this in the chat. Jesus,
please put it in the notes because that was. Oh my. Oh, hold on. I'm gonna play it one more time. Just one more time, so we can. Yeah, I'm gonna play it one more time for y'all. Y'all ready? Because that was that, and we gonna talk about that because that's a part of alignment and surrender. So here we go. Hold on, let me take it back to the beginning. We don't want to miss a word.
You know, I played the guy that was free from concern so that people who watched me would be free from concern. You know, and then at a certain point you go like, okay, well, that's great. But, you know, it's like the one thing, like people talk about depression all the time. The difference between depression and sadness is just, you know, from happenstance, whatever happened or didn't happen for you, or, you know, grief or whatever it is. And depression is your body saying, fuck you, I don't want to be this character anymore. I don't want to hold up this avatar that you've created in the world. It's too much for me.
Right.
You know? And so a friend of mine who's a spiritual teacher has a really good take. His name is Jeff Foster, and his take on it is that they should change, you know, you should think of the word of depressed as deep rest. Deep rest. Your body needs to be depressed. It needs deep rest from the character that you've been trying to play.
Right.
This is my comeback.
Ooh, needs deep rest.
Lord.
From the character
you've been trying to play.
Trying
to play. God bless.
So if you are depressed, that's because your body needs deep rest from you. Okay.
Watch yourself.
You are not in alignment. If you are depressed, you are not surrendering. If you are depressed, you're not in flow. If you are depressed, I would love to hear someone else's perspective on what we just watched, because there's a joy ringing in my ear because my soul is telling. There's a certain way I talk to myself, so I'm not gonna tell y'all that, just know it's not too far away from how Antonio talks. I just talk to myself that way. But y'all heard how Antonio said he talked to himself. Mine is not too far off from that. I just don't say it out loud. Because, yeah. But anyways, no, there's this screaming. It happened yesterday when Antonio told me this. And then watching this video, there's like the screaming in my head. Like, are you listening? Are you hearing what he's saying? Are you paying attention? Because this is you, fool. Like, that's I'm tired. That's what I'm hearing. Like, and I heard yesterday when he said it, I laughed so hard, but it wasn't a laugh of, ooh, that was funny. It was a laugh of somebody actually put into words what I've been feeling. Like, how many of y'all feel that way? How many of y'all are like, this stuff that you just put together, this is some bull. What is wrong with you? This is not what we signed up for. This is not what I said I was coming to do. So what the hell did you just make? This is not in alignment. This is not why we surrendered. Like, you surrendered to some dumb shit. Look at this stuff. This is my inner conversation. I'm telling y'all what I'm currently feeling. Like, because my communication with source is through my feelings, and I'm actually verbalizing what I'm feeling, because look, let me tell y'all, alignment and surrender. Now, surrender is not in my vocabulary, and me in the journey to alignment is not like Miss Sandra's. Okay, Miss Sandra, she is aligned. She is, you know what? I get hit, I get bumped, I get thrown off the path. She said, but I enjoy it. I have joy in knowing that I'm moving forward. I have joy in knowing that I'm doing this. I have joy in knowing that I'm doing that. Her in her journey of alignment is wonderful. She is enjoying the process. No, you are not enjoying the process if you are not aligned. If you are not surrendering, you are not in flow. And let me tell y'all something. It's no. So I just, who else? Like, what are your thoughts and your perceptions on the video that was just played? I would love to hear. Grace, I just saw your message. I'm sorry. That's also ringing through my head too. Okay, that's the conversation in my head too. Like, what the hell is wrong with you? Look at this. What is this? How many of y'all? But think about it. How many times have you woken up in the morning and you sat there and you're like, what the hell is this? This is not what I wanted. This is not what I desired for myself. By the time when I was little, by the time I was this age, this is where I was supposed to be. But what we missed was, while we set in motion what we wanted, God, the universe, gives us the desires of our heart. But we also have to be in alignment with that. And we also have to surrender to our path. The good and the bad, because the bad makes us strong. Well, what we consider bad makes us stronger for the journey, but also makes us appreciate the good when we get it. But if our avatar is so stuck in, I'm not surrendering, I'm not losing to this. If I surrender, but and everything around you saying, but if you surrender to it, it'll get you to your next. But I'll be goddamn, I'm not surrendering. You got me all the way messed up. I have surrendered to this before, and this goes into alignment with what Chef Jay was saying. When you say, I have surrendered to this before, and this is how it came out, well, then you was not surrendering to receive your blessings. You was just.
Can I say this?
Go ahead. Go.
I want to say it right in that space, right after you said what you said. Thinking about, I'm just talking about Sandra. Thinking about when people say, I'll be goddamn.
Sorry.
Whenever. No. Because whatever God damns, there's a reason for it. And it always takes me, Sandra, back to Cain and Abel's extremely vivid position, which was when Cain was like, you're supposed to be accepting my sacrifice. I am the oldest, and and mine's good too. I did this, I did that, and God makes a reply to that. Well, you should have gave me your best. Was that your best? So God is acknowledging that, yes, you gave, yes, you presented, yes, you did work, but was it from your heart? Was it something that got you in alignment with the purpose that you're supposed to be doing? No, it did not. So God damn that. So that's just what goes through my mind. I'm
no,
just
thank you.
So when you say that, it makes me think about how I'm always saying I can't surrender to that, because there's always something saying, remember you like doing this. And then my thought process is that's not in alignment with where I want to go. Although, yes, I had pleasure in doing it. That's not a problem. However, the part that says, okay, if you do that, it's going to unhitch you to where you say you want to be hitched to. Because you can't be in both places at one time. You have to be able to choose. Just saying. That's something.
No, thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate it anytime any of you unmute your mics and speak. I'm grateful. But Chef J, she not unmuting, but she sure is blowing up the chat. I mean, just really, Chef J, you hitting us like that this morning? Are you teaching esoteric call this morning?
No, I'm not teaching, but I do have something to say. I'm ready to
please.
So it's about it's really a little bit about everything. Starting from the Jim Carrey video, and that's something I wish I would have seen like years ago when I was depressed. So like I've learned, because I'm actually on a little spiritual journey, I can say. So this is a great conversation for me. I've learned, and I agree 100% with Jim Carrey. I wish I would have looked at it like that. That's why you need people, because we all view life differently. My grandma used to always say it's a million ways to skin a cat. And I apply that to everything because that's so true. I've learned that everything is connected. Like everything is connected. Free will is a MF. That's what I'm going to say. It's like you're on a path, like God give you a plan, but like along the journey, what you don't know is that, because you want to do it so bad, but his plan turns into your plan. It don't become his plan anymore. So that's why you begin to screw stuff up, because you think, I got this. Like, okay, I've been doing this. Like this has been flowing for me. I've been doing this. And you get so wrapped up in it and you forget who actually gave it to you. So like, and that can cause you to go into a depression, because now you're like, everything is going wrong. Like, and you realize because you're not aligned. And on my journey, like I've been figuring like surrendering is what you're supposed to do, but God's not going to tell you why, because that's something you have to figure out yourself. He don't give you the why. Everything is a lesson. Everything is a test. people come to you and like, even yesterday, something popped in my head because I was thinking, well, I was smoking, then I was thinking. And it was just like, when you're depressed, I've learned when you're depressed, it's either because you're living in the past or the future. You're not living in the present. And that's the problem. And I realized, like, even in my depression, how I attached myself to people. And I learned, like, you don't do that. You don't attach yourself to nobody but God, like, or the universe, or whoever you believe in. But you don't attach yourself to nothing or no one, because it's a season for everything. You live in the present so you can be happy with what you got. That's it. That's the be happy with what you have in front of you, because you're living in the present so you can understand it and you see it. And what I've learned after my depression, like, damn, I missed out on a lot of things. I've been here 30 years, but damn, I missed out because I was living in the past and the present. Man. I was missing everybody. And that's why people get so sad and even more attached to people, because you're like, man, you ain't get me. That wasn't even me. You don't even know me, but you gone now. And the thoughts you have in your head is me. It's like, damn, you don't even know me. But that's the consequence for me, because that was the decision I made. So now it's like, man, I got to swallow this. And God, like, I hope I see them again, or I hope that they, know that I'm not that person. That's just what I was going through. So to say all of that, like surrendering, aligning, everything goes, everything is connected. But you got to do the work, and you got to want to do it. Everything depends on you, nobody else around you. And that's why you have to be aligned for you to understand that. And that's just everything, like, I've been figuring out. And I just be at home like, damn, like, wow, that just blew my mind back. I just discovered this out, like, man. And I just, to me, it's like, when you know better, do better. Don't just know better, do better. And that's the question I asked my mom. I'm like, when you knew better, like, when did you know better was my question. And she told me, I was like, but why didn't you do better? Because if you would have did better, you would have did better, not for only you, but me. When you do better for you, that's when you can do better for everybody else. Everything starts with you. If you a mess, everything you give gonna be a mess. Like, that's why everything is for you. Like, it's a self-love thing. If you know self-love, or if your family teach you self-love, or wherever it starts, like, that's where it starts at, because you are aligned and you know you. When you know you, you are undefeatable. Like, but that's why I said everything is connected. We just too blind to see, or we don't want to take off the blinders. So yeah, that's it.
That is so awesome what you were saying, because you know what? There's so many times that people don't understand their own real ability, spiritually, mentally, and emotionally, and how it aligns up to their financial and so on and so on and so forth. But because they are disconnected from that, they really can't see. So when they see you doing something and they like, why are you doing that? That doesn't even make sense. If you stop, like you said, and attach yourself to whatever they're discussing, it will pull you into a negative position of where you can't get the blessings that you were getting while you were in alignment with that spiritual alignment in the process that you was going through. Because like you said, the two merge together and it becomes one. This is where Jesus was saying that he wants us all to be as one, as him and his Father are one. But we can't see it because we're outside of that. Does that make sense? That was just good.
Yes, and I got one more thing, because you just brought something to my mind, Miss Sandra.
Go ahead.
Like, I went bowling with my friends, and I got a weird call. And it was this lady, she found my business off Google. And she was like, I'm trying something different. I need help. Me and my kids got put out the hospital, out the hotel, and I just need help. And I just need a couple dollars so we can get back into the hotel. So I have 2 friends sitting next to me. And mind you, the spirit already told me what to do. So I'm on my obedience journey too. So my friends was like, you shouldn't give her no money. That's going to be a scam. And trust me, scam popped up in my head. I'm like, yeah, that could be a scam. And then like the lady had texted me, but I was bowling. I had already told I was out. And then she had called me, and my friend was like, that's her calling again. Like, I'm about to pick up this phone and I'm about to tell her for you. And I'm like, no, you don't got to tell nobody. I'm like, I don't believe in kicking people when they down. I feel like I can't judge you, and I can't be mad at you for moving off how you feel, because we move off emotions, which is incorrect. But needless to say, I sent her the money. I still sent her the money because my spirit told me to send the money. So saying what you had said something, Sandra, and I forgot already. But the spirit tells you to do something. You move when you get told to do something. You don't wait for nobody else. And we do that as people, and that's the life I had fell into. And I feel like that leads to my depression, and that leads to you attaching yourself to people. God or the universe, whoever you want to say, tells us individually what to do, not collectively. So you do as you're told, like, and like, that's my blessing, or it's not. But like, I don't believe in kicking people. If you lying, that's on you. That ain't on me. That ain't my problem. That's your problem. But if it's on my heart to give, you give. Like, when my granddaddy told me something that stuck with me forever, he was like, if you say you're going to do something, the person will know if it's from your mind or from your heart. If you say you're going to do something and you do it, that came from your heart. If you say you're going to do something and you don't do it, that just came from your mind. And that stuck to me because I'm like, nah, I know what my heart is. Like, okay, like, Jaya, that can come from your heart. Like, that ain't cool. Like, so it's like, you just gotta know, but listen to what your spirit tell you to do. Like, everybody on a different path. Listen to you. And that's what I've learned. Listen to you. When you listen to you, that's you stepping into your higher self. Like, nobody else. Don't do what nobody else feel or say. Nobody gonna agree with you. And you have to be okay with being by yourself, because at the end of the day, it's really just you and God. People are here just to help and make life a little bit better, but it's really you. It's you and whoever created you. And it took me till I was 30 to figure that out. And to me, y'all, that's so crazy. And I know we can live over 100 years, but like, I feel like it just starts in your home. Like, now I know this, I have to teach my son this so we can teach our friends and they can teach their kids, because it starts with self-love, controlling your emotions. Like, when you master those things, like, that's and knowing how to understand, gaining wisdom, and not be a beast out here. A beast, it'll be out here if all us knew all of this together. Like, we will be just knocking stuff down and building together. And I actually think that was the vision our creator had, but it didn't go that way. But okay, I'm done, y'all.
And I'm gonna say this right behind you, and that is so profound and factional, because one of the things that have always been asked to me, why did you stop speaking? Because if you're not listening, then you're not getting nothing I said, which is why I'm glad you got what I was saying, because it's like pouring water on the ground. So even though the ground gets it, the plant that is unable to receive it will not grow. It will die. And that's from getting what is supposed to make it grow. But because the plant cannot receive it, it will not grow because of it. And what is there to save it or help it grow, it will die. One of the things that I am so grateful for is, like I said before in the past, and that is showing up for Sandra, I'm going into a year showing up here. And it has to be something that stops me from getting to a meeting, because I know what makes me grow. I know from the relationship, not from people, the relationship from Father, Son, and Holy Spirit of where I am supposed to be. When God told me and showed me that he had a people, a group that he was bringing me into, I was blown away. And I'm like, okay, yeah, but I still don't know how to do this. And he said, no, you're not listening. You don't have to do it because you are not knowing, because of a purpose that I planned for your life. So if I didn't show up, then I would be in unalignment with the blessing and purpose that God has already set before me, because he went ahead of me and made the crooked path straight. See, the enemy has something else for me, and that is to not reach the masses of people who have been abused and have had mental trauma to the point where they cannot function emotionally and mentally to the point of where they used to be able to do this. However, God went ahead of me and took care of that and put people in a whole, what the heck? A whole community. And I would have missed that had I not been aligned with him. It is personal. So when we make a decision to stop one thing from pulling us to where God wants us to be, we miss it altogether. That's that not being able to be watered. That's I just want to say that. There's more, but I'm so thank you for what you've been saying. And I'm so glad that you are becoming more to yourself than you thought you were able to be. I'm so glad that you are seeing things not in the natural, but spiritually, that is beginning to come out in your natural because of your obedience, because obedience is key. There's no way you can get to where you really want to be without obedience. And you being obedient to that pulling, that call, that being chosen to say, wait a minute, I'm going to do what the Spirit told me to do, because he is our actual leader. Because people are unaware of that, they fall short of lining up with what they have as a blessing. So God is going to pour exceedingly and abundantly into your life. But before that happens, it's going to happen mentally and emotionally, because you have had some traumas that have tried to stop you from moving forward into the blessed life that God has aligned for you. And in that, there has been some trouble in your family. Continue to walk on that path that you are walking on and saying, I understand, but I can't come over there. Because they don't understand why you're not moving in the way that they want you to move, because that's the bond that y'all used to have. Right? So now, as you continue to move forward, watch the blessings unfold in your life, because abundantly and exceedingly above more than what you can even think or ask of is right around the corner. I'm just telling you what I'm being told. Just saying. I'm be quiet.
No, that's
Sandra Lucky just
Chef Jay, would you like to respond to Miss Sandra? The floor is yours.
I would like to say thank you so much. I took that in and I received it very well. Thank you.
Well, you can plan better. You can. No, I'm just joking, y'all. I don't want to go after either one of what they just said, but they were on point. And Chef Jay, thank you very much, because there's so much to unpack. When you take care of yourself, it flows to those around you. When you are in alignment, it aligns everything around you. She said something, she said, well, when you know better, you do better. But when you don't like surrendering, if that's a curse word to you, I'm not doing that. But it's going to work out for you. No, I don't care. I'm not surrendering to that. But like she said, it is while she was talking, there's a phrase that just kept ringing in my head real loud. Worry about yourself.
That's good.
That kept while Chef Jay was talking, that kept ring that was just, it was just like right. It's like somebody whispering. Because that's if you heard everything she was saying, that's what she was saying. When she said focus on you, that's self-love. And she said when she gave us the story about when she got a weird phone call and they was asking for help, she said, I already know what I was told to do. First off, she was in alignment, even though she was with her friends. First, Grace, if you can write this down for me so I don't forget this, because I'm breaking it down like this for a reason. She was in alignment when she was with her friends. The second thing she did was she surrendered to what she was told to do. And the third thing she did was she worried about herself. Not in the negative perception of what you would think worry about yourself means. So let's start off with she was in alignment when she was with her friends. Earlier, Chef Jay was saying how when you're depressed, you attach yourself to people. So if she was not in alignment, she would have had a toxic attachment to her friends. And the moment her friends say, girl, don't do that. I'll talk to her. First off, she wouldn't have did it. When the lady called back, she would have let her friend answer the phone. Her friend would have went off on this lady, made this lady feel worse than what she already was. And no telling what would happen. No telling what would happen on the other end of that conversation. You don't know what this lady was going through, whether she was lying or telling the truth. So because Chef Jay was in alignment, she heard what she was supposed to do. She felt what she was supposed to do. And she was supposed to give. The second thing she did was she surrendered to what she was told to do. Now, depending on she said it earlier. I got to go back. Give me 1 second. I'm going to repeat what she said. Okay. I feel like surrendering can be a good or bad thing. You can surrender to give in, give up, or you can surrender to receive blessings. You just have to know what you're surrendering to, but you have to be aligned to know. She surrendered to what she was told to do. Because she was in alignment, she knew she was surrendering to receive blessings and not surrendering for anything else.
And on another end, the lady surrendered her pride, surrendered whoever was going to look at her sideways and ask somebody for help. Somebody she didn't know, but she didn't care because she knew.
A complete stranger she found on Google, which means she was in alignment when she did the search.
And if the lady was a scammer, that didn't matter. Jay surrendered to what she was told to do, and that was all that was important. What was between her and her God, and that woman, if she is a scammer, that's between her and her God. And she did what she was supposed to do, and I know God blessed her because of that. So you're absolutely right.
Thank you. There's no testimony without a test.
Come on. Which brings us to number 3. She worried about herself. She didn't worry about if she was getting scammed, even though she said that was one of the things that popped in her head, but she knew what she was supposed to do. She didn't surrender to the scam. She surrendered to, I'm supposed to give this woman money. She worried about herself. She didn't worry about what her friends were saying. She didn't worry about if that woman was scamming her. She worried about herself, her alignment, what she was surrendering to. Chef Jay, you just taught this whole morning class. That one story was everything we've been talking about. With the added factor of worry about yourself. One of the greatest things that I've learned that I have yet to master, but I'm working on it. I'm not perfect. I'm still working on it. Is worrying about yourself. That's when the avatar comes into play. Because when you worry about yourself, you're not you don't need a deep rest from yourself. If you worry about yourself, you already know whatever comes to me, I'm going to surrender because I'm in flow, because I know what I want, because I'm aligned with it. Antonio tells us all the time, he did a whole sermon on it, which blew my socks off. But we're not meant to be alone. God didn't create us to be by ourselves, to be solo dolo, to be, I got this all me. He didn't create us for that. If that was the case, it would have just been Adam or Eve. I don't know, I think God, like women, he preferred us over men. I'm just saying, because, he made us so wonderfully. We can do a lot, but we can't have kids without both. And for clarification, let me disclaimer this, because somebody gonna listen to this and they're gonna be like, oh, she's such and such and such. She don't believe it. You need an X chromosome. You need the XY and you need the XX.
You need a planter. You need a planter and a field.
You can do it however you choose to do it. You can go have artificial insemination. You can do it however you choose to do it. That's not what my point is. So before anybody go out there and be like, oh, she's not this, no. I'm just saying. I'm not saying I don't believe. I believe. I am saying you need, as Grace said, you need the planter and you need the field. You can have any type of planter and field, but you need both. God
be told. I'm just saying, just based on what you're saying, the visual of it is to know that the field, because it is purposed to grow, what is placed in it, it's gonna grow godly. Even if it's gotta be tilled extra deep, it's gonna grow. But the planter,
you can plant it any kind of way you want to plant it.
Come on. Just saying. That take you back to what the purpose of what was being discussed went along with what happened in the Garden of Eden, because God was waiting for Adam to say, okay, wait a minute. If you the field, I'm the planter, and I need to, stay on this one-on-one that I'm supposed to be, working with, because he got me, because he is my planter and my field. He just took from himself and gave me a version of him and me together in the womb, man, in this field. So I need to stay with him. But he didn't do that. So the plant, let me be quiet. My bad.
No, you good. You good. You can plant it however you want to plant it. You can play that. That's not what I'm saying. I am saying we need each other. God blesses us through people. We are not meant to be alone. No matter how we view that, we're not meant to be alone. But Chef J, her story laid it out for us. She was aligned, therefore she surrendered, and then she worried about herself. When you worry about yourself, everything else around you it flows from you. The concept of alignment and surrender, if you focus on you, worry about yourself, be on your spiritual journey, you're not worried about what other people thinking. Therefore, your avatar ain't got no strength. Because you're focused on you. You're focused on being aligned and surrendering when you need to surrender, which is being in flow. If you think of surrendering as being in flow with your alignment, you have no issues. Your perception of surrendering will alter how much flow you're in what your alignment is. It's like I said when we started this, surrender is not my vocabulary. You think I'm going to give up this fight? Antonio tells us all the time, anything that is alive will fight to stay alive.
Come on now.
Your avatar has been alive for a long time. However many years you've been on this earth, how many years, well, actually, I can't say that's how many years your avatar been alive. Because I'm going to say maybe like the first 5 to 8 years. Well, no. I'm basing this age off of what I've seen my son do. So give me a second. From birth to maybe about 4. 8. From you are in alignment, you're surrendering, you're on point. About around 8 is when your avatar becomes solidified. And based on what you solidified within that avatar, the rest of your life, you're living in that avatar. But like Chef Jay said, if you know better, you should do better. And you teach the next person, because you know better, you teach them what you learned. You don't force them to do anything. You teach them in love what you learned. And you just keep pouring into them. Don is 8. And let me tell y'all something. This little boy, he is me, okay? Y'all have heard me say this before, but I'm saying this in a different aspect. He is me, but he's also my avatar. Because I raised him through my avatar. I'm raising him through my avatar. Because my alignment is not properly aligned, because I'm living through my avatar and not in my alignment, guess what my son lives in? Because I don't surrender. That little boy don't surrender to nothing. Let me tell you, this little boy, I don't know if it's the generation, but I know it's not the generation. But I put in him not to surrender when I was carrying him in my womb, because my avatar never surrendered. And the one time my avatar ever surrendered, I got burned because I surrendered to the wrong thing, not surrendered in my blessings. I surrendered because I was already going through some stuff and I gave in or gave up and felt some kind of way about that. So I instilled in my son to never surrender. Y'all gonna catch me. Y'all gonna catch me. So at 8 years old, my son is not living in his alignment. He's living in the avatar that I helped him create. So now that I'm knowing better, I have to do better. And I have to not only break down my avatar, but I have to help him break down his. And it may be a little easier for him to do it because he's still in that growing process. He's 8. This heifer right here just hit 40. I'm just saying, my avatar is solidified. She like, sis, I love you. I done been here too long. I ain't going down without a fight. So what you gonna do about it? I'm fighting this to the end. Keep it. Oh, that was cute. Oh, that was cute. You working on your dreams? We not surrendering to this because the last time we tried to do this, it blew up in our face. So we not surrendering. And then here comes Soul Me. Here comes Soul Me. Soul Me be like, but no, this is where we're supposed to be. My avatar's like, look, that's cute. But I've been protecting us for a long time. I'm going to be here. You too nice. Let me be the hard shell and you just live inside this shell. But your soul be like, but I don't like the stuff you created. I don't like this. This is not what we wanted. This is not why I came here. You got me stuck in something that I don't want to be in because you don't want to let me free. So who else? Y'all heard me just pull out all my stuff because trust me, Don is he is a wonderful kid. But Grace know him. He's absolutely wonderful, but he is his mother. That boy got a mouth on him. He can cut you with his words. He can cut you with his eyes. But then he smile at you. And you be like, you little, what the hell did you just do? But how many of you, be it your own child or children that you have a constant interaction with, how many of you have done that to your kids or the children you have constant interaction with?
Are we trying to get us to follow this sword with you? No, just playing.
Shoot, Grace, you taught for 10 years. You was a teacher for 11 years.
No, you spot on because there were several kids. It was 2 in particular that I had to sit them down and I was like, yo, y'all acted just like me when I was your age and now. Listen, I'll tell you something. This anger, it ain't gonna get you nowhere. It ain't. It's not. You being angry, you're not gonna have the friends that you want to hang around. You're not gonna have the life that you want. And I had to sit down and tell them like, hey, you're going down the wrong road, dude. And I just told him I told him about me. Hey, I was just like that, and nobody wanted to hang around me, and nobody wanted to, I was with myself, and I was like, you gotta turn it around. And I just kept working on them. I don't care how mad they got at me. I just kept working with them. I'm here, okay. And to this day, I go into Randall's in Galveston, and one of the students, I saw him and he works there. I said, I know you. You missed that. At the time, he was 16, so he may be 17 this year. But you can tell he turned it around or whatever. Because when you angry, you can't get a job. What? No. he'd have been fine. If this is the same guy, same boy that I taught in 6th grade, he'd have been gone.
Especially working in retail and working in the food industry.
Yeah. So,
Lord.
yeah, but seeing a lot of my kids, Jesus, I got kids that are 30, or whatever. I hadn't seen them in a while, but I know they're 30 now because of, when I first started teaching. But yeah, it's Lord. This call has helped on today. Because D, what you said, this hard shell, we're gonna live inside this hard shell. Don't be trying to show the real you. Because when people show the real you, when you show you the real you, people, okay, this is what I hate. Okay. And it's gonna be petty and be like, girl, get over that. I am, but I'm gonna get it out. When you do start to show real you, and people be like, oh, look at that. I didn't know you was, you know what? This is why I didn't want to do it, because I ain't trying to eat all that.
Grace, let me tell you something.
Oh, so you do know that. Okay. All right. Stop trying to revert back to, I know what you used to be. So you want me to go back to that? Because I can. If you want to, okay. Just say, you know what? I am happy that you're doing this. I am inspired, because I was about to say proud, but I know Mr. People's gonna get on me. I am inspired. I'm inspired that you were the real you is coming out. Yeah. Do that. Don't be acting like church folk where you been. Don't do that.
It's okay. Okay. And that's when you come to, because my avatar will look at you and be like, see, it's people like you I can't trust with the real me. So you won't always get my avatar. But then you have to be careful, because that follows you into your relationships. See, I can sit here and say now, before you would have never heard me say this, but I can sit here and say I've been raising my son through my avatar. And now that I recognize it fully, trust and believe, me and him, we're going to be straight. We're going to be straight. But how many of you communicate through your avatars in your marriages? How many of you communicate through your avatars in your friendships, your relationships? Do you know when you meet somebody, they're meeting your avatar, not you?
Watch that.
And because you're not, if you have not been your avatar all these years, how do you be married with the real you? Like, Uncle Romy Roll.
Okay. How do you know who the real you is?
That's a good question, Grace.
I'm serious. I am serious. I kid you not. I am struggling. Like, if somebody asks me, Grace, who are you? Oh, that's the real me right there, though. But I don't know.
Okay.
Oh, no.
How could you ever have a trigger? If you have not been your avatar all these years, how could you ever have a trigger? How could you ever get angry or offended? How could your children ever know the real you? How could your trauma and abuse ever be forgiven? All of you have been in your avatar, which is why you feel any kind of way for anything. Your self-talk is exactly what your avatar thinks of you. Now, I don't know about y'all, but me and my avatar don't get along. And one day I may share my self-talk with y'all. I've done it here and there. But if you really was in my head during my self-talk, me and my avatar don't like each other. I can't stand my avatar. She get on my last nerve. I can't get rid of this heifer for nothing. I'm trying though. Trust me. She gonna be gone soon. Well, let me rephrase. not gone, but she and I will be in alignment with each other and on the same path. And she's going to be my protection while in alignment. See, one of the things that I learned that Antonio taught me is you accept all of you. I know who my avatar is. She's very protective. She's been here for a while. She's been here since I was a kid. But something happened when I was a kid. And she was like, you know what? Nah, fool. I got you. You stay over there hidden and safe. I'll handle all this stuff out here. And that's been our relationship for some years. But now that I am allowing me to be me, me and her don't get along. Because me being in alignment and surrendering to certain things, that's like telling my right-hand man, the one who has been there, my ride or die, the one who's protected me throughout my life, I'm good. Oh no. No, I done been here for over 3 decades. You not finna get rid of me. And then little stuff around me will happen that will trigger her. And she'll be like, see, I told you. I told you. Just let me handle it. Let me do this. I got you. You see how that hurt your feelings? Let me handle it. Your feelings will never be hurt again. You see how that made you cry yourself to sleep? Let me handle it. You'll never do that again. You'll walk around this life and not be touched. But in doing that, I'm out of alignment with what my desires are, because I have no room for mistakes. There's something that I need to move through, but because it makes me feel some kind of way, she's like, no, I got you. So I can't move through my fear to get to my victory. She keeps reminding me of any pains or traumas that I had when I was a kid, and it keeps coming up as an adult because she's still protecting the child. And the adult is like, I got this, just move. Like, I don't want this anymore. This is not what we desire. This is not what we want anymore. So let me do this. And she's like, no, because you got hurt when you did it then. But see, I've lived some, so I have some wisdom now, but she is still her. So anything I do, my relationships, my work, my communication, anything I do, it flows through her. So in order for me to be in alignment, I have to surrender to the flow of things. And at the same time, I have to reprogram my avatar. And I have to help her retire. Because she is a soldier that has seen war. And she's protecting me from the outcome. See, our soldiers go to war to protect us so we can still have our freedoms. But at the same time, the people who give the orders don't always have the best motives. Put it that way. But that soldier will do their job no matter what. That is your avatar. Your avatar has been trained to do a specific job no matter what. So now you have to either retrain your avatar, or it's time for your avatar to retire. And me personally, I'm ready for mine to retire because I'm tired of needing a deep rest from her. I'm just saying. But what I'm going to do is these questions. See, okay. I'm going to take these questions that I just asked y'all. Grace, if you can put these in the notes for me, because I want you guys to journal. I know that sounds weird. I know. Well, actually, no, not for this group. Not for this group. Because I want you guys to ask yourself these questions, because I'm going to ask myself these questions. The first question is, Grace, I helped you out. Just check your line out. If you have, you're so very welcome. If you have not been your avatar all these years, how did you be married with the real you? See, it's crazy.
You said you put it in a line app? I'm sorry.
Yes, ma'am. It's in your line app.
It hasn't hit yet, but okay, it will.
Oh, no, it hasn't come through yet.
Okay.
Yeah, no. What's going on today? Huh. We'll try a different one. Hold on, Grace. Y'all, hold on. I'm making this easier for Grace so she don't miss out on it.
Because I was ready to type.
Go ahead, Miss Brenda. Oh. Man. There you go. Been a minute since I texted you. All right. There we go. Yes, Chef J killed it. Like she I'm speechless. She taught today. But the first question was, if you have not. Go ahead, Miss Brenda. Oh.
No, I'm sorry. I didn't want to say anything.
Oh, okay. Good to see you.
You too. Thank you.
You're welcome. If you have not been your avatar all these years, how did you be married with the real you? If you have not been your avatar all these years, how could you ever have a trigger? I'm going to tell y'all something Antonio broke down to me yesterday. It made me think, and it's still been, going in circles. How could you ever get angry or offended? How could your children or nieces or nephews or adopted kids ever know the real you? And then how could your trauma and abuse ever be forgiven? Your avatar is unforgivable. That sucker don't forgive nothing. Everybody got you all the way at all times. Let me just tell you. Maybe that's just my avatar.
It's part of being pressed on every side.
Man. So Antonio and I was talking yesterday, and I'm gonna close it out with this story. Antonio and I was talking yesterday, and he blew my mind. He made me think, and he frustrated me all at the same time, and not in a negative way. So he was telling me, if your perception has been wrong, I'm just using that word, but I'm paraphrasing what he said, all this time, then that means you were wrong about this situation. You were wrong about me. You were wrong about your ex-husband. You were wrong about anybody you were with before your ex-husband.
I should Mr. Smith Jr.
Which means you were wrong about he said, which means you were wrong about your brother, which means you were wrong about your mom.
I was wrong about my sister.
Which brings you to the root of why you feel like how you feel. Because your dad should have protected you and stopped your mom from whatever she did to you. And when I tell you, excuse my language, that has been fucking with me, because I ain't never went that far back before. And I'm sitting here and I'm thinking, I'm like, oh, damn. What the hell didn't he protect me from that has me 40 years later like this? Because I always traced everything back to my mama.
Deanna,
Yes, sir.
you gotta remember this. If you create, and this goes back to Chef Jay, if you created the avatar, then you can dismantle the avatar, or you can change it because you created it. It is your creation. Hello. So yeah, and when Chef Jay was talking about, here I am 30-some years old, and I just figured out, and I'm gonna work with me and my son. And I said to myself, shoot, I'm 60-some years old and just starting to figure this out. So guess what, girl? Enjoy life. You know, you're gonna be fine, Chef Jay.
Look, and I got 10 years on her. I'm sitting here like, dang. But imagine, that's like your avatars started. You started building your avatars from the ages of 0 to 8. So it makes you wonder, like, what childhood trauma and triggers helped you create your avatar? When he said that to me, and I hadn't said this to him, it's a question that's like, it's something that's been ringing in my head, because what if I've been wrong for 32 years? Do you the trauma in that thought process in itself and I'm gonna tell you why. Because do you know the people I've hurt in the last 32 years? Because of my avatar? Because I let my avatar lead? Because I didn't worry about myself? Because I wasn't in alignment and I wasn't surrendering? Do you know the relationships I've destroyed? The businesses I've destroyed? The people in those businesses that I've destroyed? The self-destruction to myself? Like, do you understand the level of forgiveness you would have to have for yourself if you have been lying to yourself for 32 years? I can remember being in the first grade and telling a lie because I didn't want to get in trouble. And then having a play only for me to do our final lap around the stage, to come downstage for my first grade teacher to tell me, yeah, just talk to your mama. And I'm keeping walking. I have to pass my teacher first with a smile on her face saying, hey, I just talked to your mama. The dread drop in my stomach, only for me to pass my mom, and she got this look on her face. I'm like, damn, it's gonna be a rough night. I'm in the first freaking grade, 7 years old. I remember that thought. And then my avatar is 32 years old. How much happiness have I missed out on? How many blessings have I let pass me by? And I can actually tell y'all 2 major blessings I missed because of my avatar. The first one was a full ride musical scholarship to the college of my choice. I just had to major in music. That's the first thing I missed. That was between the ages of 18 and 19. a full ride to the schools of my choice. I could have gone anywhere. I'd been accepted by a college in Lynchburg, Virginia. I was waiting for an application back from Duke University. I had connections at Clark Atlanta because my piano teacher's best friend was a teacher there. Well, she was the dean of the music department. I had a full ride scholarship. Spelman, missed out on Spelman because of my avatar. Prairie View, missed out on Prairie View because of my avatar. So that's the first blessing that let me rephrase, because I'm not blaming my avatar, that I allowed my avatar to take control of. That's the first one. The second one was going to Tuskegee University to get a veterinarian degree. That was in my mid-20s. Because see, to me, my avatar, my brother was my mom's favorite kid. He's the golden child. He get everything he wanted. He got accepted to Tuskegee University. I received a phone call from my mama. Hey, if you go to Tuskegee, I will pay rent for a 2-bedroom apartment or house off campus for you and your brother. Because I know you're going to get in. Those were her words. I know you're going to get in. Y'all want to know what went through my head? Oh, that's your favorite child. You just want me to go up there so I can babysit him. That's what I said in my head. How dumb is that? That's the dumbest possible thing. You mean I could go to school rent free? I can apply for financial aid because I know they're going to help. I'm smart as hell. I was going to say another word. I'm smart as hell. So I know I'm going to get accepted. Because I'm no dummy. I've never been a dummy. I act like a dummy. I've just never been a dummy. But because I allowed my avatar to control my life, because I was not in alignment with my desires, I did not surrender so I could receive my blessings. It was twice. The first time, all I had to do was make a phone call. My dad kept telling me, call Miss Collins. That was my piano teacher. She doubled as my grandmother after my grandmother passed away. And I told Grace this story. I told Grace why I ain't call her. And it was all my avatar. And I'm sure Grace sitting here listening to me now. She's like, yeah, Dee, that was stupid. That was your avatar. You was dumb. But I'm telling y'all this because I can pinpoint blessings that I've missed. Now, if I can pinpoint those two, can you imagine the ones I missed that I can't pinpoint? All because I was not in alignment and I did not surrender. We don't know what we're talking about tonight, but God bless us. I don't know what Antonio has on the agenda for us to talk about tonight, but God bless us. Because this morning, all I want to do right now, y'all, is go take a nap. I ain't even gonna lie to you. I'm not gonna lie. I want to go take a nap after this call because, oh, Jesus, this call right here, this is just, and it's only 9:47. We still got a whole day ahead of us. And then we have 6 o'clock. I don't want to. I think I done got hit enough in the last few days. I don't want to get hit tonight, okay? So, hopefully, Chef Jay, you maybe you can teach a class tonight. I don't know. No, I'm joking, y'all. But seriously.
Deanna.
Yes, sir.
As screwed up as your avatar is, I like the way you turned out. But I'm just saying.
You Uncle Rummy wrong, and wait until I get rid of her Uncle Rummy. You're gonna be like, so that's
Okay, I like the way you turned out too.
Oh, thank you, Miss Brenda.
And we all go through things, and like you say, we didn't realize it at that time. But when you know better, you do better. And at that time, you didn't know better. So hey, we all been through it. We all done it.
Yes, ma'am.
And we just got to put the avatar to sleep. Well, not make her sleep, but make her align in what we want right now.
There we go. Use her for our good. Use your avatar for your good.
Right.
That part.
Yes. Use your avatar for you. Because Miss Sandra said something earlier. I could hear the joy in her voice when she was talking about her journey. Or was it just me? Like she was.
Yeah. Oh,
I'm excited.
Yeah.
See? That's because her avatar doesn't control her anymore.
This is why I get on every Sunday and I be looking for her. I'll be like, okay, Miss Sandra, where you at? Okay, it's be a certain time. It's a certain window. If it's like between 1 and 3 o'clock Central, and she on, okay. But if she ain't on after 3 o'clock, you all right? Let's go up. So yeah.
Like, thank you. Because y'all think about Miss Sandra has no problem with telling us her authentic story. We've heard her tell her story. Ain't no way in hell her avatar ain't got on some armor. But she decided, you know what? Nah, I don't want this no more. And her avatar have become in alignment with each other. Because she said, I still get hit. I still get bumps. I still get bruises. But there is joy. But I have joy in them because I know they're going to make me stronger. I'm paraphrasing. Do you know her avatar has to say, okay, I'm in alignment with you. We're going to get bumped. We're going to get hit, but I'm going to make sure it don't hurt as much as it used to. When you are in alignment, that avatar is your best fucking friend. Excuse my language. I'm sorry, it just came out.
She is, though. She is.
It just came out. It flowed, okay? It just kind of flowed. My bad, y'all. Y'all know, I ain't gonna apologize for it.
Sorry, but not sorry.
Yeah, sorry, but not sorry.
Deanna, that was my fault. I gave you all that liberty and you took advantage of it.
But it just flowed out. It really did. It really did. But your best friend. Because your ride or die, instead of working against you, is working with you. When you're in alignment and you surrender, what you're telling your avatar is, hey, look, we agreed. This is what we're going to do together. I need you to let me surrender and be in flow. And you just divert the stuff that's toxic to us. But because we're in alignment, we both know what's toxic to us and what is going to lead us to our blessings. I'm going to get hit no matter what. And then your avatar be like, all right, fool, I got you. I'll be the bubble around you so you can get hit. You won't feel it, but it's not going to hurt as much. Or you may not need your avatar at all. Because once you're in alignment, you become like Miss Sandra, like Chef Jay. Man, look, I wish I would have known this then, but now that I know it, now that I know better, I'm going to do better. And then you like Miss Sandra. You know what? I still get bumped. I still get bruised. I still hit potholes. But hey, I'm enjoying this process. You be like Miss Adonia. You know what? When I came out the factory, everything was in alignment. Everything was cool, clean, flowing clean. But every 3 months, I just need to go back and make sure that I'm still in alignment because I done hit some curbs. I done got a few dings. I done hit a few potholes and I done drove over some rough roads. I just got to make sure my alignment is straight, but I'm still in alignment. Oh, but I thank y'all on this morning. We'll probably take a nap before 6 o'clock. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. My soul needs to go rejuvenate. And if y'all have read Conversations with God, as Mr. Phil has suggested to us on numerous occasions, you would understand that when you go to sleep, your soul leaves your body and goes and reconnects with source to get re-energized. I'm gonna need that re-energizement because, you know, I've been doing some construction work this week. And my avatar is like, you doing too much. So I don't need a deep rest. I just need a regeneration, a rejuvenation, a boost, if you say. But y'all take these questions and ask yourself these questions. Like, ask yourself, if I'm not living through my avatar, what does all this stuff around me look like? And follow the rabbit hole. I'm still following the rabbit hole. I told y'all, Antonio messed me up yesterday. He really did. But I'm following the rabbit hole because I don't want the next 32 years to look alike. I am 40. I want the next 39 years, next 40 years to be the best years of my life ever. And I understand that if I'm living my best life, my kids are living their best lives. I love you all. Y'all go have a conversation with your avatars. Tell them whatever you need to tell them. I know what I'm going to tell mine. Me and her been in conversation for a few days. Me and her been going back and forth. We done both said some choice words to each other, but we'll be okay. Yeah. So I don't know what we're talking about tonight yet, you guys. But just know we're going to have some breakthroughs together. We're going to have some breakthroughs together. Y'all finna see me be more transparent than ever. So bless y'all. Bless all of y'all. Bless y'all souls so much. I love you all. We'll see you tonight at 6 p.m. Central. Yeah, 6 p.m. Central, 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific for Pathbender. I'm going to go bend some paths together, get in alignment so we have the power. I got the power. Sorry, it just came out. Sorry, but not sorry. That's going to be my new phrase. Thank you, Miss Sandra. Sorry, but not sorry. I love you all. You can plant better. You can dominate. See you all tonight.
Love you more.
Love you more.
More.